I am muted. I was muted for about a solid 5 seconds. Steak, are you good?
What do I say?
You sound a little scratchy. Say something again.
Scratchy.
You sound pretty good. You got a new setup?
I just moved into the living room because no one is home, and I have a puppy.
That's right. W puppy. How is the puppy life treating you?
It's a really good dog. I'll say that much, but it's still a lot of work.
It's a golden retriever, right?
Yeah.
Love golden retrievers. This is rare. It was a rescue situation.
Yeah. I guess some 18-year-old got it for a gift and couldn't take care of it. So I was living with the vet, and the vet knew my wife's dad and basically made a post like, people suck. Someone adopted this puppy and couldn't take care of it. So we obviously hit up the vet and got the puppy.
W good guy. Love to hear that. All right, let's get to the chat real quick. Oh, current tally to Schuster, 837. Steak, I don't think we're making it.
Me either.
Don't think we're making it. It's unfortunate. I'm not doing another 2-for-1 special. I can tell you that right now. You're going to have to really crank the sub bangs up there. By the way, shout out to this guy in my fucking DMs who sent me a $5. I'm going to have to go find this another day. I should have been prepared for it. He sent me a $5 parlay that paid $6,000. It was actually insane. I think it had like 15 or 16 legs in it. Oh yeah, this guy. $5 free bet won $6,500. Blake. I won't give your name out unless you don't want it, but if you're listening, he sent that. He said, longtime follower, check out this parlay. Unbelievable. Nice job, Blake. Wanted to give you a 11 legs, all 10 CBB hit easily, got lucky with the Steelers. Yep, he had the Steelers 2.5 against the Bengals. Trey Young is the reason I barely select. What great job on the dog of the day, Steak. Your
dog of the day actually didn't hit. Dog of the day was the Utah Jazz. They covered and didn't win outright.
So come on. That's not what we're gonna say.
Yeah, we washed. I had a unit on the money line and a unit on the spread.
Okay. Listen, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. That's not the way you should be going about this.
Oh, I know what you're saying. You should be doing a half unit on the money line and a unit on the spread.
Or go 2 units on the spread. Yeah, it's 6.5 points.
Yeah. You might be right, but as it stands, yesterday we went 1-1 plus 0 units on dog of the day.
All right, but I think the chat would even agree with me there. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you're going to play a team getting 6.5 points, you should profit on that if they don't win outright at a plus price of like what, 2 something, plus 220, 240.
Yeah.
All right. But anyways, good job. Nice job on the Heat too. Great. Glad you tweeted that out. The way you did was excellent. I retweeted that this morning. All right. We've got a lot to talk about. What's up, Gumby? Gumby with a follow and liking the broadcast on broadcast. That sounds so official. I've got a bowl of oatmeal again, by the way. Sorry, I was late. Let me tell you my morning really quick, and then we'll get right into it. So my internal clock, for whatever reason, I go to bed at like 10:30, maybe 11. I was watching the Jerry Springer documentary. You haven't seen it yet, right? It just came out. You're watching college basketball. I saw you shame me for that. That's
so fine. Much college basketball yesterday.
So I want to hear your takeaways on that before we get started. But, Carson said I'll be there. W. Carson. Anyways, talking about the Orange Bowl. I watched the Jerry Springer doc. It was very good. And then I went to bed a little later than usual, about 11:18. My internal clock, for whatever reason, I wake up at like 5, like 4:45, 5 o'clock. I usually go take a piss, and then I go back to bed for about an hour, hour and a half. I could not go back to bed because you know what I was thinking about all day? I mean, not all day, but all morning. I sat there in bed and I just kept thinking about the Twitter space we had last night and everything everybody said about this game and how it could play out and transpire. And every way I ran through it in my head, Steak, I don't know that you're going to like to hear this, or maybe you will. I love Notre Dame to win.
I think you've had a really good read on Notre Dame this year, to be honest.
I love it. And I just kept thinking about it, and then I kept envisioning it. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Notre Dame's really going to be the national championship. Next thing I know, like 2.5 hours goes by. I didn't go back to sleep. I haven't even showered. I'm disgusting. So sorry for being a little bit late, looking thin. You think so? I have been, we've been not dieting, but we've been like cooking at home, having some salad, Caesar salads with chicken. Love Caesar salad. Steak, what's your go-to salad dressing?
I like an Asian ginger type of thing. That's probably my favorite.
You do. You love Asian food.
Oh my God. I would literally eat it every single day.
Yeah. I would say Italian and Asian are my top 2 cuisines. Mediterranean's slept on too, but every time I ask you for a restaurant recommendation, it's 95% chance it's going to be an Asian spot.
Definitely true.
which is
Also,
great.
Orlando has great Asian spots.
Yes, they do. They do have very good Asian spots. All right, maybe if one of them want to sponsor the show one day, we'll shout them out. But for now, we're going to gatekeep. We do have a hype train going on. Did we get some sub bangs that I have not seen? Lieutenant Goose, Fat Girls, 25 months, Goose, 23. I do have to apologize. People are asking for golf. They're asking for golf. They're asking for the Century. BK did not hit me up today, and I don't think he's coming on. And this is kind of a big stream for us because we are traveling tomorrow. We're going to the Orange Bowl in the morning. Friday, we're going to be driving back up. I got to go straight to the airport. So I don't know that we're going to stream the next 2 days. So we have a lot to get to. I'm going to do my best to talk golf later. I'll even see if BK wants to hop on at some point later tonight. Steak, you bet some golf. You've bet golf for a little bit. You take like 1 to 2 guys every tournament, right?
Yeah, I like the sweat of a 20-1 guy. But I don't know shit about golf. Like you said, I tail my golf guy or I tail you and BK, but for me, it's just strictly degenerate gambling.
You did go to the Bay Hill though, didn't you, last year or the year before?
Yeah, you just go drink with your buddies. I could do that any day.
Well, yeah, but I wanted your opinion. Isn't it going to a golf tournament pretty sick?
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, I love it. All right, we're gonna be big golf guys moving forward. Call me Nick with a follow. Elso RL with a follow. Oh, shout out Forensic yesterday. We rated him. And Bud,
Can I address the Nikki Gambles thing real quick?
Oh yeah, I haven't even looked at a chat comment.
Sorry, I can't stop looking at the chat.
Can you highlight it? I know you're always looking at the chat.
I don't know how to go up.
What do you mean
this one.
To go up. Take your mouse, go to the chat, and scroll up.
You already did it. Perfect. So this is the thing. Like, I get why you think this is fake sharp. I looked at Florida yesterday and thought it might be fake sharp. But while college basketball is just this easy, because honestly, man, like almost all those spots that you thought that about yesterday hit, you just have to keep pressing the button. I'm not saying I guarantee Nova's going to hit, but the way college basketball is playing out right now, you fucking have to play Nova. I hear what you're saying. It does seem too easy. Florida seemed too easy as well. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah, you said it. And it sounds so weird. College basketball, all those fucking lines hit yesterday.
Yeah. You know which one didn't? The one that didn't? Xavier.
Yes, but you sniffed that out. We sniffed that out because we said
yes,
those short home dogs, trappy. I don't even think Vanderbilt came through. No, there's one more. Actually, this doesn't really qualify. BYU. That one gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Sucks. I took it, man. And then, honestly, I really think I should have hit that one. I'm not complaining, but I thought BYU should have hit.
Do you remember what I said in the space of why I got concerned about it? You are so distracted by the chat. It's hilarious.
No, I'll stop. But no, I don't remember what you said.
I said the one thing I'm concerned about is the bounce back spots are becoming so obvious.
Yeah. And we nailed another bad bounce back. I forget, but we sniffed out a bad bounce back spot yesterday too. I forget which one it was though. That space was good for a quick power hour.
Yeah, we got to do more of them. And Mid-Major Matt knows ball too. He's excellent. There's a lot of ball knowers in here, but great job. I think for the most part, you crushed it last night. Very upset with myself, chat. Here's the I liked Arizona, ended up playing it. Mid-Major pushed me over the ledge. I'm happy I did that. The only reason I got concerned is when there's a player out in college. I'm like, maybe I'll just stay out. But I said, fuck it. Louisville first half. Clemson, I think, was a little low scoring. It was a bit of a sweat, but they stalled out. That was nice. Kentucky. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I keep saying it. I'm done. I keep relying on Steak, too, to keep me honest. I can't. The guy has too much on his plate. He's got 24 wagers, and he's going fucking 20-4. I got to be a big boy and do this. There is absolutely no fucking reason I can tell you that Kentucky team total under or Georgia first half is the first thing I write on the board, and then I take the first half under and lose. I got to stop doing that. So please, even somebody in the chat, if you want to hold me accountable and smack me in the face for overthinking it, getting cute, whatever, please do that. Shout out to Marty Guan, by the way. I like that Twitter account. He's funny. Where
I do too.
Marty. Yeah. You know, it's funny. People ask me all the time. They're like, oh, how do you get started doing this and growing an account or whatever? I always tell people, you got to be consistent. You got to put yourself out there. Then you got to try to be original. I kind of like that that's like his thing. DJ, writes it like he's writing a fucking letter. It's pretty funny. Anyway,
I don't know if you paid attention, but actually his picks are pretty legit.
I see his recaps, which is funny because I'm not a big recapper, but then I realize like I don't go back and look at people's stuff. So those really do help. Now, granted, you got to keep it 100 and you got to recap the losses, which I saw he does too, which I like.
Yeah.
But I think I might become a little bit more of a recap guy moving forward. Would you co-sign that?
Yeah, I really do like a recap. Like I like talking about yesterday where we were right and where we were wrong. I do like that. Do I check to see if a capper recapped his losses? I really don't give a fuck, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah. And then great call on Duke. That was another pretty good line read. I mean, let's be honest. The lines are telling the story in college basketball. I mean, they're telling you Florida's a fucking 3.5-point favorite against the number one team in the country. That line is telling. What was the other one? Duke -14 against a team like Pitt. Steak said it, disrespectful. Where I went wrong is I am not acknowledging that this is a different Duke team. And shout out to not only you, but Mid-Major as well. He kind of pointed it out from a basketball standpoint of their defense. They were suffocating. Good job to who had the team total under? Was it MJ?
Yeah, and that was a great read too.
Yep, great read on that. Good job, MJ, and good job to those guys. So, anyways, I'm sure people are gonna make their skin crawl and it's gonna be cringe to say something is easy like this, but you said it best. I mean, it's kind of taking your ego out of it too. You're just acknowledging what's working, you're leaning into it, you're reading the lines, and don't psych yourself out. Tunnel vision, head down.
And we will go cold. Everyone that's anyone that's tailing or honestly making their own picks in college basketball, we're going to go cold. It's going to get square. There will be a square patch of college basketball this year. I absolutely promise you. Just don't sit around trying to figure out when it is. Ride the wave.
For what it's worth, Rampage, I don't think anybody actually didn't believe that you were courtside because you got the opponent wrong. That is totally okay. But I did see the picture from Rampage, courtside tickets at the Nuggets game. By the way, what a fucking the Celtics first half. Did you see what happened?
Yes, they were up. I'm going to say they were up like 12 with 6 minutes left and then ended up tied.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I think the Celtics are a first quarter team this season. Last year, first half, this year, first quarter. When the bench comes in lately, they just kind of take their foot off the gas, and I don't like it. But all right, Steak, where do you think a lot of people are talking college basketball? Where do you think we start today? We didn't really even talk about this. We didn't have a production meeting. We got to talk NFL playoffs. We got to talk the two bowl games, but we still have NBA and college basketball that we can touch on. You've been dialed on the hardwood. Is there anything you think we should start with? People are already talking about your picks.
I'd love to do CBB, but I got to be honest with you. I don't feel comfortable discussing the NBA at 10:20 in the morning.
Okay.
Last 2 nights ago, I gave out fucking the Sixers, and then at 5:30 p.m., Joel Embiid was out. Last night, I was leaning the over in the Celtics game, and Jokic is out an hour before the game. Like, I can't gamble the NBA in the morning. I literally start looking at like 4 p.m.
All right, I got to acknowledge this. Chasing losses. This is a hilarious comment. I know you probably won't get it, but Blake Wheeler was a good hockey player at one time, but then the Rangers signed him and then he was atrocious. That was a very funny comment. Yeah. Sorry for mushing the Rangers. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck the Rangers. The Rangers suck. Well said by you, Steak. All right. So we'll sit tight on the NBA because it's just too early, but let's go to college basketball. The people are fiending, something like that. We've got some games today.
Yeah, and I like the slate. It's obviously not as good as yesterday or as popular as yesterday, but I like the slate today.
Wow. Book of Chew asks, Steak, how you doing? I guess he doesn't give a fuck about me, but I'm doing okay too, Chew. Steak, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Chew. Now ask DGen how he's doing, please.
Yes, that would be great. DGen, I know you see that Ohio State versus NT hypothetical line. 6.5, right?
Yeah, doesn't that make sense if that's what they are against Texas? Because Texas NT would be a pick 'em, right?
Sure, absolutely. Can I petition DGen to not skip the small schools? Yeah, but come on, I'm not going to talk about a fucking 18-point favorite, Marshall against Ohio Valley or something. Chew, I'm a lot better now. Thanks for asking. Yesterday was insane. Probably best day for me. Love to hear that. Whoa, 9.5.
Oh, 9.5 is nuts.
DGen, you're my role model. Book of Chew. Listen, that's very nice of you to say. I should be nobody's role model. Hey, DGen, how are you? I care about your well-being. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get into it. We've got a pretty packed house here, nice and early. God damn, it's 10:22, almost 100 on Twitch. How we doing on YouTube? Make sure you subscribe to the page if you're not already. We got to get the newsletter out. Steak, we haven't really even talked best bets, but we will later in the show for the NFL playoffs. We came to a 1-1-1 end to the NFL season. Unfortunately, we got +2, not 2.5. Story of our fucking NFL year.
Yeah.
Similar to when I got 44 on that total in Broncos Falcons, and everybody else got 44.5 or 45. Glad you guys cashed. I push. First stream I've caught all week. Well, W Bart, happy that you can be here. Yes, aloha. Thank you for that review, and thank you again for plugging the merch. You're the man, Chew. Your video was awesome as well. Shop.thedegenerateweekly.com. Bang. I'm actually going to pick up a beanie. I'm going to pick up a beanie. Steak, I didn't get you a beanie because I didn't know if you wanted a beanie. I'm sorry.
But do you have something I can wear to the Notre Dame game? I know we discussed that. Is there something XL you got?
I have a big green jacket, but I was going to wear the big green jacket.
Nah, I don't want what you're wearing. So nothing XL Notre Dame. I just want to prepare myself.
You think we'll find something at the game?
No, I'll just wear my Jerry Sandusky jersey.
That's not even funny. As soon as the word Jerry came out, I'm like, what Notre Dame player plays it? What Jerry Notre Dame? That's not ringing a bell. Degenerate crop top for Steak. Yep, we can do that. Yeah, okay. What was I about to do? Oh, wait, what was I gonna do? I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna do? Steak.
We were going to go through the college basketball board.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, my brain froze for a second. And then you and we need to talk about this weekend too. We'll talk about it, but Corn is going to make another appearance. Corn did a great job. I wouldn't mind getting mid-major Matt on too. See what his thoughts are on the. That's what I wanted to do. Wait, real quick. No, I just want to go back and I want to plug the space last night. We had like 600 people tune in. I want to thank Jovan, that guy Joe from ESPN. Was excellent. If you want to go back and listen to it, I thought it was really good. It's less than an hour. Let's see. Yeah, I recorded it 55 minutes. I thought it was a very, very good Deej. You as well. Great space. Thank you for coming in. I thought it was excellent. We had a lot of people come up from Penn State, a couple ND, a lot of bias, but they were very nice. Everybody was very respectful. Fart Simpson, W Fart Simpson. That was excellent too.
Dude, how do you do that? What Fart Simpson did? How do you get how do you change your voice?
I mean, dude, you're asking somebody who's not very tech savvy, and I can't figure it out. But I know that there is like a soundboard feature on there. I don't know how to access it. But maybe somebody can help us out. All right.
One other question about Fart Simpson, and we can move on. Was his voice Cartman? Because I thought it was weird.
I thought it was like a carnival character. No, it was like helium like this. Carmen's more like that.
Those sounded the same to me. He sounded like Cartman.
It was like I don't know.
I'm gonna rewind the tape later and make my own judgment.
Okay. Yeah, it was a high-pitched filter. I think it was like helium or something. All right, let's get into it. Steak. College basketball. We've got a 6:00 game, Navy and Holy Cross. We've got Army and Loyola.
We like Army.
Why do we like Army?
I think it's weird they're favored. I think it's the wrong team favored. Loyola was Freddie's pick last game. I don't know if you remember, and I think it's a good spot for Army here. Army's lost like 4 out of the last 5. They should not be favored. I know I have told you, love that crutch. I think I saw you punch it in. I know I've told you with the small schools, don't get crazy trying to be sharp, but I absolutely think wrong team favored here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it was, again, those situations where it's like, oh, let's say Loyola was coming in and they were 10-6 and Army was 6-10. Oh, no, they've only played 14 games. Well, you understand what I'm saying. 10-4 and Army was 4-10 or something. And Loyola was -2, -3. And you're like, oh, shit, Army's getting points, but that line seems short. That's where we're getting duped. Just to reiterate, when that team that looks worse at home is getting points, that's not working out. But if they're favored, that's a little bit different. So
I think that's perfectly said.
Not a cokehead or voice actor, I guess. Crutch says Army best bet today. Wow. All right. W's. Wait, hold on. You got to click on the wand icon and it activates a voice transformation.
I will be doing that next space.
Love that. Love that. Okay. W info Chew always looking out for us. Appreciate it. Okay. So we're on Army like that. Loyola Chicago and LaSalle. Loyola Chicago 3. Do we have a situation here like we were just referencing? Does this look a little short? Loyola Chicago stinks. They've lost 4 in a row. LaSalle is not as terrible. Do you kind of get what I'm?
Yes, for some reason, I feel like Loyola Chicago gets respect because of that Final Four run they made, and everyone recognizes the name. And I almost like I told you that about Davidson once for like many years because everyone knows about Steph Curry and Davidson. Obviously, this could be the dumbest shit ever that I'm saying. So if you want to flame me in the chat, but I feel like when you see Loyola Chicago and you're just a random dude, you're like, that's fucking Loyola Chicago, only -2.5. I could lay that, you know? And I'm not saying I have no read in this game whatsoever. I don't think anyone should bet it, but I don't know. I don't think the line's like particularly strange.
You make a good point. I still find myself inclined to lean Loyola Chicago, but maybe I'll stay off. Dude, Crutch is hilarious.
Yeah. What's the read, Crutch? You give us the read.
That's what I'm saying. You can't expect me. I don't know shit about these teams. You can't expect me. You tell me what I should know about Holy Cross. Holy Cross is -1.5 against Navy. I got nothing on that game. Oh, here we go. Navy's the only 2-0 team in Patriot League, catching points versus average.
I was typing.
You just fucking pinned the comment I was reading.
Oh, sorry. It said average Holy Cross team. Give me the Crusaders at home.
Oh, so now you're going to outread me?
So it's Army and not Navy. That's what we've gotten. Courtesy
That's
of
what we've gotten?
Yep. Army, not Navy.
Okay, there's the sub counter.
Write it on the board, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I could redo the board. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, so Holy Cross, Army, Loyola Chicago. If I had to play it, Stake says no. They get respect. I see where he's coming from, and I agree with his point. There's got to be something here with DePaul Seton Hall.
Yeah, let's take a look. From what I mean, no, I don't think there's going to be much here. But Seton Hall's awful.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, Seton Hall's bad. By
the way, thank you for keeping me off the Hawks 6.5. I only took the team total over and it hit. So.
Yeah, I loved that actually. That you hit that because I like the over in that game too.
Yeah, me as well. Okay. So you said Seton Hall is awful. DePaul, on the other hand, is Seton Hall's real bad.
Yeah, but DePaul's not great either.
No, they're 9-6, so they have a better record, but they did just they just lost by fucking 44 points against Villanova.
They gave up 100.
God. Oh my God. Oof. They're playing 4 straight overs. And I guess Seton Hall totals. I don't know, man. Hear me out. Seton Hall just I was gonna get towards the under.
Yeah, what is the total at?
It said 130. You can never really go off this. 133.5. Let me pull up Wager Talk too, so we can get more accurate openers and
I'm gonna tell you right now that under is a good lean.
You think so?
Yes.
Do you think that also, you know what I kind of like? Seton Hall has not played in fucking, oh my God, they haven't played since December 31st. And
oh God,
DePaul is DePaul is playing back-to-back road. Yeah, this is an under. This is like a 25-23 at halftime game.
Yeah, I don't want to go first half, but
that's okay.
Like, I like the game under though for sure.
That's fine. My only concern is that they suck, so it's going to be close. If it's a 6-point game with fucking 2 minutes left, they're going to be fouling. You don't hate that?
I'm not going to cap that way, no.
That's fine. And you know what? I think the full game in Georgia, Kentucky went under.
Oh, it did? Damn.
Yeah, I know. Mid-major Matt DM'd me, said, DJ, are you going to kill yourself? I'm like, no, it's not that serious. I'm not Beeve out here fucking saying I wish the fucking plane would go down. All right, basketball, college basketball. I'm going to get this up. All right, we'll move on. So we kind of like the first 4 games. All right, we've got next wave of options here. Northern Kentucky, Youngstown, Coastal App State.
Yeah, that's the one to talk about, even though I think I know what we're both going to say.
UConn.
No, I'm not going to say.
Oh, UConn. You're on Villanova.
Yeah, you got to take Villanova. But I understand everyone who thinks that this can't keep being this easy, but everyone also keeps saying that, and it so far has been as easy as pressing Villanova. And I'm not the kind of guy who tries to catch a falling knife by saying, this is the time everyone gets burned, and it's going to be Connecticut this time, but it hasn't been the last 5 times. And yeah, I don't know. I think you press Villanova.
Okay, I have one question for you, and seriously, hear me out for a second. If I told you the line opened UConn -2.5, does that change your mind at all?
No, I think UConn has a guy out, but I don't know his name, and I think that might factor into it.
And you're okay buying into that?
I don't care about that in college basketball really at all. I tried to play Nuggets plus 9.5, buy the bad news with Jokic out. I mean, what better player to buy bad news with than the fucking MVP? And that didn't even work out. It's not hitting quite like it used to.
Okay. Okay. The total in the game dropped 2 points, 147.5 to 145.5. All right, all fair. All is fair in love and more. Somebody I was friends with you.
Yeah, Liam McNeely.
That's not ringing a bell. But okay. The only reason I initially was like, ooh, but again, I'm the guy that's trying to get cute and time it when it's not working, is that Villanova just came off of a 44-point win. And so I was like,
against nobody.
Yeah, that's right. I was like thinking, ooh, I'd like to fade that, but you're right. It's still UConn. It's tight. UConn's burned people. This is how you have to bet in college basketball. So as you stated, I'm remembering this, and now this is the game we talked about right when we started the stream that somebody pointed out. So fair enough.
Also,
okay.
I would just say to anyone, if you don't like Villanova, just don't play the game. Don't bet. I just wouldn't bet UConn personally. I think if you bet UConn in college basketball today, you'll lose more bets than you win personally.
Okay. Furman, Citadel. Talk to me about this game, Steak.
Absolutely nothing. But you want to know a fun fact about Furman?
Yeah,
they beat Virginia in the round of 64 a couple years ago. It was in Orlando, and I was at the game. I saw the game winner. It was like Virginia inbounded the ball down up 2.
I remember it.
Yeah, and Furman hit a game winner.
Wait, didn't I go to? Oh,
maybe
that
you weren't with me.
That was a round before I went with you.
Yeah, I think it was too because I think
Furman played San Diego State, right?
Furman played no. Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I thought we saw San Diego State play Tennessee, or did we see Tennessee?
No, Tennessee played Duke.
Yeah, you're right. San Diego State played Furman, then they must have. But yeah, that was one of the coolest college basketball games ever.
That's very cool. I forgot you went to the round before too. That's yeah. I think Orlando's a pretty good host for shit like that. Okay, so fun fact about Furman. Yep, I remember that. That was good. Okay, Presbyterian. Here's the next wave of games. Oh, Clanmucker was there. W's. Furman been in a couple years in a row. Yep. What does it say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. That's also when Stan Van Gundy looked really upset because you knew he probably had a lot of money on Virginia. I don't know if you remember that clip. That's for those of us who are watching on TV. Lafayette Bucknell. Knew a guy that went to Bucknell. He was a client of mine. Nice dude. I think he lives in Chicago now. Hope all is well. I think his name was Ryan. That's all I got for that. St. Joseph's in Duquesne. It is not Duquesne. FAU and Charlotte. What do you got for me here, Steak?
So, God, I pull up the FAU Charlotte game. I had FAU minus 2.5, bro. It was so brutal against Eastern Carolina. I don't even know how to explain to you how I lost that wager. They won by 2, but the things that Eastern Carolina needed to happen to cover was crazy.
Since when are you not taking a money line if it's 2.5?
I know, dude. I know. I knew you were going to say that, and I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Well, I'm only saying that because I felt like you would say that to me. But have you changed your approach? Seriously?
No, I really don't know when I pressed that button, honestly.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not trying to shit on you for it. That's for sure. I'm still a money line. Like, for example, I think I went money line on BYU last night. They were like minus 130. Morning DJ, sweatshirt and route. Let's go, Reggie. I think you're gonna love it. Steak, what did you get the hoodie?
I got the hoodie. I kind of want a crew now.
I think you're gonna really like the crew. I'll get you a crew.
Do you have one on you? Maybe that's what I wear.
I only have a medium for Greg.
Yeah. That'll go well.
Yeah. I'm going by the shop later though. I'll see if I can snag one last minute. Furman. Oh no, I already read that. Okay. So Steak, we're gonna pull up this game real quick. FAU Eastern Carolina, as you mentioned, won the game, lost by 2.5. What is Charlotte up to? Ooh, Charlotte's lost 4 of their last 5. They're 7-8 on the year. I mean, they're not. Well, they're kind of tailing off here. They had to go. What? Who is? This is sick, dude. Who is making Charlotte basketball fly all the way to Hawaii to play a game? That is insane. I mean, I guess it's fun if you go to fucking Charlotte, but they had to fucking go to Hawaii. They'd come back and play another game 2 days later. Wow, they actually won it. Oh, wait, this may have been in Hawaii. I'm an idiot. I'm going to stop talking. Steak, what do you like in this game?
I only was going to say that after watching FAU back-to-back. Oh, am I lagging?
Yeah, you are. I don't know what just happened.
Maybe I leave and come back.
Okay.
Bye.
God, thank God that motherfucker, dude. He never shuts up. Never shuts up. Oh, FAU this, Eastern Carolina that. Oh. It's nice to have some peace and quiet. Oh, he's back. Hey, what's up?
Heard that.
By the way, Greg is saying, let me know when are you coming on today, Greg? I don't remember Greg saying anything about coming on today.
I don't either. Greg, you want to come on?
Greg is not a man of many details or words, but I need him to communicate. Let Greg cook. Yeah, I want Greg up here if he's able to. Okay, let's get back to business. You sound good if you're chatting NFL. Yeah, we're doing it all.
Send him the link. Send the link.
All right, I'll send the link. Steak, what are we doing here? Are we fading? Is this
only thing I was going to say, sorry, before I got, is that FAU is a fade, in my opinion. I watched back-to-back games.
Wow.
They got smoked by Memphis when they were kind of sharp, and they fucking almost blew it against Eastern Carolina. It was not impressive at all. I just don't like FAU. I'm not saying to bet, but I would definitely lean Charlotte.
Okay. I'm going to ask Greg real quick since he doesn't communicate. Greg, I got nothing to bring to the table on Charlotte hoops. That's true. Greg, after college, we can do NFL first or we can do college football. So you need to tell me what's better for you to come up. I don't think it matters to Steak.
Nope.
Everyone have a great day. Nightbot. When did Nightbot become such a pussy? Just kidding. All right, let's keep moving. Lehigh and Colgate, American U, Boston. I can already tell Kretsch has got a hard on for these matchups. Anything here, Steak?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Central Florida just got fucking smoked by Kansas. It's funny because me and you were supposed to go to the game and we just never talked about it. I think obviously going to the Orange Bowl was much more exciting, but they just got fucking smoked. I don't know as a bookmaker how you make them -8 against anyone. I know Colorado's nothing special. I'm very surprised at this line that UCF would be favored by this much. I think they might roll.
So Colorado just lost by 20 to Arizona State. They lost by 10 to Iowa State. They were 9-point dogs, so they just missed that. This is okay. I mean, UCF is a good team. They're 10-3. My only concern here, you're right. Seems like a pretty respectable number. This is an obvious bounce back spot, isn't it?
Is it? That's what I was going to say. I don't know that it is. Because I almost think it's a little sick. Like you'd have to be a little sick in the head to want to take a team who just lost by 50 by 8 points.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I think -4.5, and then you could say like, oh, it's pretty obvious bounce back. And overall, season-wise, UCF is the better team. But man, 8 is fucking 8's a lot. 8's disrespectful.
Are you going to be on them?
Yeah, most likely that would just make my call. I just see Deej at UCF first half. I never have good luck with first half plays. I know Deej hits a lot, but I'll probably go full game.
I love a first half play. Nothing better than getting in, getting out, not have to sweat.
You like what Deej likes. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Set me up for that when I was asleep at the wheel. Yeah. All right. Greg says he's flexible. Steak, after college, do we want to chat NFL or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Greg, be at the ready. When we finish up with college basketball, get your ass in here and we'll talk NFL. USL, if money line is in a boost builder.
I don't know exactly what that means.
Playing devil's advocate, you like Villanova, who just won by 50.
I like Villanova, just won by 50. Yeah. Again, it's not exactly the same situation, but I get what you're saying. They're playing UConn. They're playing UConn.
I don't think that's the same because you're betting on a team that lost by 40.
No, he's saying I want to bet one team that just won by 50, but then I'm advocating for betting a team that just lost by 50. I get what he's saying. It's just not. It is two very different situations.
I understand now. Okay, yeah, I see a little similarity, but I also see the difference. Dayton and UMass. Anything?
No, Dayton's awesome though.
8-6 ATS. Yeah, it's a lot of respect on the road. Hey, did Auburn cover that 11-point spread at Texas last night?
I'm pretty sure they did, but I'm not 100% sure. I had no action on the game.
That's okay. We always appreciate just letting
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. Damn,
Yeah.
they didn't. Auburn didn't cover. That's crazy. They were up like 20 points at one point.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just curious. This number on the road is always a little concerning to lay with anybody, I think. All right, let's keep moving. UNC Asheville, Longwood, always up to no good. Alabama, South Carolina. That's a lot of respect for Alabama, is it not?
I don't know. Let's see what South Carolina's been doing.
South Carolina been doing. They're 10-4. They just lost by 35.
Yeah.
Jesus. And they were just 10.5. See, this is weird to me. Now I know they were on the road, but they were 10.5 point dogs and they didn't cover by 25. And now Alabama, I mean, don't you think they'd be a few points higher? They just beat Oklahoma by 32.
Yeah, I actually think this line is a lot of respect for South Carolina.
I'm very upset with myself, and I'm going to tell you why. I remember liking this North Dakota game. I like North Dakota here. I was like, that's such a weird spot for a team like Alabama, and North Dakota is going to treat it like their fucking Super Bowl. I'm so mad because I'm just throwing this out there for people. Betting strategies, whatever works for you. I'm just telling you what kind of has worked for me. When a big favorite gets a close call and gets that scare, I love for them to respond the following game and after. And if you look at Alabama, since that 7-point win against North Dakota, they have fucking covered the next 3. 20-point favorites, they win by 27. 22.5-point favorites, they win by 33. 13-point favorites, they win by 28. I think this is short.
Me too. Yeah, I pretty aggressively lean South Carolina.
Yep. But remember, guys, you always get duped a little bit with these home dogs, if anything, in college. So tread lightly. All right. Notre Dame and NC State. Who's got something nice to say about my Irish on the hardwood? NC State is 5-9 ATS. Notre Dame looked awesome earlier in the year, but then they suffered a pretty bad injury at one of their best players. I don't know if he's back yet or not. NC State's kind of fallen off a little bit, but it looks like they're better at home. They dogfight with Texas, beat FSU. I guess that's kind of it for worthy opponents. Do you like anything here?
No, I mean, interesting point by Crutch, but it doesn't make me like anything. Oh, he's back. Marcus Burton is back.
Oh, really? Oh,
Duke
wow.
NC State. Nothing here. This would be a game I'd avoid, honestly, completely avoid.
This is a good C. Smitty. This is always good to point out. I like that. I like the look ahead spots in college sports. Oh, Duke on deck for ND.
North Carolina's on deck for NC State.
ND losing that game against USC was brutal. Really? Yeah, somebody did tag me. I think it was mid-major, and he said, I hope DJN doesn't see how Notre Dame just blew it. I don't know if you followed it, Steak. I didn't. Is ND all ready to lose tomorrow? We'll talk about that later. Fordham, VCU, Western Carolina, Wofford.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Bradley?
I mean, Bradley's good.
Yeah, does that look a little short at first?
Drake's another big name mid-major. Oh, bro. Maybe it does look short. Yeah, maybe it does.
I mean, that I don't know.
Show me Bradley again.
Okay, this is Bradley.
They
aren't covering, but they're winning.
God, why would the over/under be playing into Drake so much? Like, Bradley doesn't see these types of totals, but Drake does. I would have thought maybe it'd be somewhere in the middle. I feel like the total's pretty fucking low.
Mm-hmm. Drake coming off 2 stinkers. Give me the Bulldogs money line. Yeah.
It might be Drake.
Drake is a team full of D2 transfers that have been over succeeding to start the season. Coach and son went to WVU. Oh, yeah, that's right. DeVries, I think. That's what mid-major said. Okay. Kind of lean Drake there. I'm not really in love with anything so far today, but
I kind of lean the under and Drake.
Murray State, Northern Iowa, Richmond, George Mason. Richmond used to be a respectful basketball school. What the fuck happened?
Let's look up VCU. Real Nicky Gamble said VCU line is kind of crazy. Let's peep it. It's right above these. I thought.
Oh.
Yep. It's 12.5. What have they been doing?
17.5.
Oh, I have horrible eyes.
That's okay. VCU just won. They haven't played a home game in quite a while. And Fordham is losing. Lost back-to-back games. But
this is a monster spread, dude.
That's a big spread. They're getting more than fucking Penn State got.
Yeah.
You know who was a 17-point favorite last night and won?
Who was a 17-point favorite? Not sure.
Bigger school.
Not sure.
Iowa State.
Yeah. Who did they play again? Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to take it, but
Utah just lost by 40. I couldn't play that.
I know. Okay. I kind of like VCU.
I kind of like VCU too.
Just moved to 18 on the screen. Syndicate. Keep moving.
God, how much higher can you make this fucking spread?
Yeah, I know. All right, Richmond, George Mason. Nothing. Northern Iowa is a good spot, says Risings. Where's that? Oh, Northern Iowa. Oh, Baylor just covered a 5.5-point number. Baylor whooped that fucking ass. Let's see here. Ooh, off a loss against Valpo. What's Murray State up to? Murray State's off a win at Drake. Might be onto something. Murray State's off a win at Drake. Northern Iowa off of a loss.
Don't hate that at all.
No, I don't hate that. I kind of like Northern Iowa there. Yep. All right. Good stuff. Have to fade GW after beating Dayton.
Let's go down to Florida State, Miami.
Okay.
Everyone. I mean, this is just another one of those games. I think I'm 0-3 betting Miami this year. I don't know if I can do it, but do I think this fits in the category of buttons that need to be pressed? If you're a college basketball bettor, kind of. I think a lot of people are going to press it. Miami's tough, and Florida State isn't impressive either. I know they have a decent record, but they played fucking nobody. I don't remember who their best win was against, but it's definitely not against anybody special. Temple.
Yeah, lost to NC State, lost to LSU.
Hughes, who sucks this year.
Ass kicked to Louisville.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't know. I do think the spread looks sharp for sure in Miami's favor, but I don't know. I don't know that I can get there.
Dave Martinez says, I've watched Miami play 3 times, and let me tell you, I'd rather watch my girlfriend get pegged than watch that program again. Yeah. So what happened? They had a pretty good basketball team, and they had a pretty respectable coach. Are they just nobody gives a shit anymore?
I'd rather watch her get pegged too, Dave.
All right. We won't analyze the downfall of Miami Hurricane basketball. So let's keep it moving. Okay. So maybe Miami stake.
Maybe Miami. If you want to just ride the wave in college basketball, you press Miami. I'm literally, if you can't tell, I'm exhausted even saying it out loud because the thought of betting Miami makes me kind of fucking tired.
I guess I'm just so confused. Does Miami not have money to pay these kids to stay in fucking Miami? What would they rather do? Go get paid to go to Baylor? Like, I just don't understand that. It's Miami.
I don't know. We've been saying the same thing about the football team up until this year. Obviously, they did great this year with the talent they brought in, but I don't know how you don't get really good fucking talent to play in Miami. It's crazy to think about.
And how would you not want to stay there? I mean, all I've heard is great things about Miami experience as a college kid there. But anyways, all right, we'll keep moving. We'll kind of power through. It's 10:50. We want to get football started here at least around 11.
Yeah, so we'll just talk about Mississippi, Arkansas, and then I think honestly we could probably wrap it up after that.
Okay, I'm going to take a piss, a commercial break, and then we got Texas, Oklahoma too.
Oh, yeah, I have to talk about that. Who is Wade Taylor out? Can someone tell me if I saw that correctly?
Isn't that the coach of LSU?
Why did I say wait? Did I say the wrong name?
No. Wasn't that the coach of LSU, the guy who got in trouble?
No, don't confuse me. He's the guy, the fucking baller for Texas A&M. He's out. I'm not playing Arkansas. I mean, I'm not.
Oh, Will Wade.
Yeah, Will Wade is who you're thinking of, dude.
Why is that funny?
I don't know, because you threw me off.
How many Wades are out there, bro?
You almost convinced me that Wade Taylor was the coach of LSU, and I was an idiot.
How many Wades are out there?
A lot.
No, not a lot. Anyways, all right, Ole Miss, Arkansas. You got anything?
I like Arkansas for sure.
For sure. Okay. 4-9 ATS against Ole Miss. All right. Where
Let me just tell you, Ole Miss just spanked Georgia. who then came on the next game and beat Kentucky. Arkansas just got fucking stomped by Tennessee, who just got stomped by Florida. Like, any way you slice this up, that looks like the right play.
Okay. All right, let's keep moving. Tailing Dawes says, take a peek at the bodies from when you get to them. Tail the wagon been printing for me. Wow, St. Bonaventure is 13-1 ATS, but they are an underdog against St. Louis. We don't have to spend too much time on it. Steak, did you have a thought on this game?
That they shouldn't be an underdog.
Is this a little Tennessee, Florida? I mean, they're 9-6, so they are losing.
And they just beat St. Joe's. No, never mind. Ignore what I said.
This is St. Bonaventure. Wow. St. Bonaventure is rolling, and they've only been an underdog.
Might be the Billikens, dude. Might be the Billikens.
6 to Utah State. That was on a neutral. 3 to Providence on a neutral. 2.5 to VCU. So St. Louis could be the Billikens, says Steak. All right. Butler Providence. I don't know if you got anything on that. 2.5 point favorite, total 138.5.
No.
We'll power through to the big games. Wow, why are all these games at 9:00? Oh, Stanford's on the West Coast. Duh. Illinois playing at 9. Jesus. Texas A&M Oklahoma is Will.
He's confirmed out.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Kind of think. I know that I always say don't buy the bad news in college basketball. It doesn't work out that well. But kind of like Texas A&M.
Who the fuck just beat BYU last night?
Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Didn't Texas A&M just play? Nobody plays back-to-back in college. That's right. It was Texas Tech. Wait, Oklahoma, didn't they just have a really big win?
They beat Michigan earlier in the year. I don't remember who.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I remember that because I had Michigan in that game. All right. I'm good on that.
I think Oklahoma kind of stinks is what I was getting at.
Okay. So you want to take Texas A&M?
Kind of.
Okay. Virginia Tech, Stanford, Penn State, Illinois, and then then I think it's fine to wrap it up.
Got burned by Stanford. Betting them. Who was it? Pitt that they played? Who did Stanford just play? They're plus 9.5. They seemed like the right play. I think going back to them as
Pitt.
Pitt lost that bet. Going back to them as a favorite seems crazy. Virginia Tech. I have not watched Virginia Tech, full disclosure, at all, but they must be terrible. Just beat Miami though. Everyone does that.
Oh, I'm with you on Stanford. You want to take Stanford?
It does seem like the right play. That's all I'm getting at.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Penn State, Illinois.
No.
Okay. And then the last two, I guess, worth talking about: Arizona State, Kansas, Cal, and Virginia.
God, Virginia's so bad. This is like one of the first Virginia total. Tell me if there's another Virginia total that's been in the 130s. I know it's a stupid question, but I just want to see. I feel like they're literally always in the 120s.
I don't know how many times I got to tell Greg to man his battle station, but the fucking guy isn't ready yet, so I got to go text him. All right, what am I looking at?
If there's been a Virginia total in the 130s in the last like 10 games.
Does seem high, right?
I have bad eyes, so if you see it, tell me.
So the last one against Louisville was 130. They scored 50 points and it went under. Before that, 122, 119, 129, 126, then 135.5, and that went under as well. You think 130.5 looks kind of high, right?
Kind of, but you could tell me what Cal's been doing.
Oh, Cal has seen totals in the 160s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
148, then. 153, 143. They've been in the 130s 3 times this year, and they've gone over every time.
And both of those times that Virginia was in the 130s, they went under. Virginia is so awful offensively, and they're so slow. God, I'm fucking tempted to take the under again.
Really?
Yeah. I am.
So you think that's low because Cal scores points?
Yeah. And I just think fucking Virginia is – I just don't see a world where Virginia gets to 60.
Okay. BJ Cheek 4 with a new follow. What's up, BJ Cheek? Welcome to the board review. Okay. I don't love the board today.
I like it. I like it.
Well, let me put it this way. For someone who's just getting back into betting college basketball, this is 2 Like it's like playing a video game you haven't played in a couple months on like expert level.
Expert, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Actually, I was going to make a post literally about how yesterday was kind of for the casuals and today is kind of for the sick fucks.
That's good. You should do that. That's a good post. That would do well. Maybe Chewy can retweet it since he just cares about your feelings and not mine. All right,
Yeah.
Greg's still not here. Steak, I got to piss. You want to do a quick commercial break?
Yep.
Be
30
right back.
seconds. Go do your thing, buddy.
I'm going to. Hold on.
Me too, Nikki Gambles. Snowflakes in the chat. Snowflakes in the chat. Snowflakes in the chat. Snowflakes in the chat. Coke's on. This is such a good song. Snowflakes in the chat. Snowflakes in the chat. Here is also spice. I'll also accept snowmen. And I'll accept noses. Nose emojis. There we go. Couple snowmen. You guys get it. You guys get it. $120 in here on Twitch. Fucking watching this guy take a Coke break.
All I hear when I'm fucking trying to take a nice calming piss is just snowflakes in the chat, snowflakes in the chat, snowflakes in the. Did you get any snowflakes?
I feel like
wow,
I
you
got,
did get,
yeah, I
you
got
did
a
get
lot.
of snowflakes. Who are you, Matt Gates? I'm just kidding. That's a political joke that probably half the people in here won't get. All right. Steak was like the commercial break DJ. Oh yeah, there should be a piss break command. That's kind of funny. All right. Greg's still not here. I don't know what he's doing. Never in my life have I seen someone say, hey, like 5 times, hey guys, let me know when you're ready to do NFL. Hey guys, let me know when you're ready to do NFL. Then I tell him he's ready to do NFL, and then he just disappears. Let's get into it though. And Steak, we need to discuss what we want to do because Cornfields hit me up and asked about a Saturday show. So let's look at the schedule real quick. But Saturday, we've got Chargers Houston at 4:30. And we have Baltimore, Pittsburgh at 8. Sunday, however, we have 3 games. So I didn't have any intention to stream Saturday. I was just going to do Sunday prop talk. But do you think it's worth discussing a Saturday stream?
I think it's worth discussing. I like when we do the football Saturday and Ramble does the college basketball. Give everybody a little bit of something.
That's true.
So I would absolutely be down.
Okay. In that case, then let's maybe start to get into it. Corn was great Sunday morning. Yep. Thoughts on golf last night? Weird league, in my opinion. Didn't watch a second of it. That sounds weird as fuck. Snowy Degenerate could be the new name. Greg hasn't been the same since Primer bullied him. Why don't y'all do CFB while we wait for?
It's a good idea. I would agree with that.
Okay, I don't know where this fucking idiot is. All right, let's go to college football then. And we've got 2 games to discuss, obviously. So here we go. Notre Dame tomorrow, January 9th, 7:30. Thank God it's at 7:30 and not fucking 8:45. Total in this one for everybody who gives a shit. Let's go to Wager Talk real quick, see what the update is for you. Steak, did you put a bet in on this game or not yet?
No, but I told you what I'm doing. I'm absolutely shit nuking the over in cash when we get to Hard Rock.
There's a sports book there.
What's that guy that everybody's been talking about lately that you posted a picture of and his apartment had no furniture?
Blaise.
I think I want to go full Blaise and just fucking cash money on the over, take a picture in an empty apartment with my shirt off. You know, like I want to do that.
Okay. That's what you want to do. That sounds great. 47.5 down to 45. -1 Notre Dame open, -1 right now, -1.5 maybe at DraftKings. So we did a space yesterday. The guy that came on, Joe, I forget his last name, but he was great. And he did mention how the line got up to 2.5. Money hit Penn State late. I wouldn't be surprised if it has to do with maybe some positive news coming out about Abdul Carter potentially playing. There were some great breakdowns on both sides for the most part. Steak, I know you were kind of in and out of that space yesterday. Even though there's bias on each side, every Notre Dame fan that talks said Notre Dame's going to win. Every Penn State fan that talks said Penn State's going to win. There's still like a level of uneasiness, I think, where there's still an expectation of like, yeah, we could still lose this game. The opponents and the fan bases seem to respect each other. I have gotten a little carried away after I watched that Oregon Penn State game. Did you watch that game live, by the way?
Yes.
What I noticed, which was really, really surprising to me, and I guess it was quite evident when they just played Ohio State. I was not at all impressed with Oregon's defense. And Drew Aller played a great game. He made some really good throws. Guys were running wide open. The offensive line was having their way with the linebackers and the run blocking. And they ran all over him. Penn State did. Even being down by like 2 scores, they were still able to run all over him. So I wasn't totally impressed with Oregon's defense. And I'm just looking at all these teams they've played recently. SMU 38-10, Boise 31-14, Maryland 44-7, Minnesota, Purdue. They haven't played a defense like Notre Dame's. So the one question I want to ask you is this. If you're betting the over, which I'm most likely going to do as well, I got to bet something on Notre Dame. I'm not sure what yet. Are you at all concerned about what I'm bringing to your attention with Penn State playing the best defense they've seen in 7-8 weeks since Ohio State? And I want to add one more thing. Al Golden, the defensive coordinator, used to play and coach at Penn State, so we have a revenge game narrative.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's good. I'm just letting somebody know I'm streaming.
You could mute it.
No, it's okay. I'm good to go.
Okay. So what do you think about that?
Okay. So I've looked. I did lean Notre Dame. I just want to say that. I don't love it. I thought of like trying to find an edge on either side, and there's Greg. I see him in the queue. I think it's actually kind of weird how similar both these teams are. Both teams have 2 good running backs. Both teams have a solid veteran quarterback with experience. Both teams kind of have a history of choking in these type of situations. And I'll be honest, I cannot pick a side, but I do think both teams will be a little more aggressive offensively, for example, than Notre Dame was against Georgia, because Notre Dame didn't need to be aggressive against Georgia. And somebody said it perfectly in the space yesterday. You were playing a freshman quarterback making his first start, and you didn't need to be that aggressive, and it worked out great for you. And then Penn State played Boise State. They knew there was a huge talent gap, and they weren't that aggressive. Honestly, Drew Aller kind of stopped even throwing the ball in the second half. And in this game, I think they both need to be a little more aggressive, and that's why I lean points, because I think most people look at this game and see an under, but I don't.
Well said. Well said. Wow. You have the Action app coming in here and giving you kudos.
Hey,
Action app. I went 4-9 yesterday. You can just give me a shout out on that, like Hawks team total over. Yeah, nice job, Steak. You red alert. You've come up on the Action app's radar. Very well said. Very well said. I like fading the steam. Let's bring Idiot Greg up here, who I said for 15 fucking minutes we were ready to talk NFL, and you were nowhere to be found.
It wasn't 15 minutes.
It was something like that. Anyways, it's good to have you up here.
A glass of water.
I thought you were going to say a glass of wine first.
It was 8 minutes.
Okay, fair enough. Greg, where I'm curious to hear what you have to say. You are a bit of a Penn State fan by proxy because your dad went there. Although you and Steak are both Gator fans. But you don't hate Notre Dame. And
no.
just from before I hear what you think, what does your dad think about this game?
My dad's so funny. He's nervous about every Penn State game. So he's nervous about this one, obviously, but he'll be nervous if Penn State's playing like William and Mary in week 2. I don't know. My dad's just always very cautious, but then once the games start, he'll be pissed off in the fourth quarter if Penn State's not winning by 14. Like, I think he was up here for the baby's birthday. I think it was in
Minnesota,
right? Yeah. And they were supposed to win by, call it 14, and they were winning by 10. He's like, this team sucks. This team's terrible. Like, you can't beat Minnesota, blah, blah. I'm like, you won. Just shut up. You won.
Well, wasn't he mad we had Minnesota as the newsletter play?
Yeah, he was. He was quite upset.
You know what's funny? I remember even telling your dad, I was like, yeah, Steak, the other guy that we do this with, he liked Minnesota. And I told your dad, I was like, but I like Penn State. And then Minnesota was whooping that ass. I was like, yep, that's why I let him make the decision.
Yeah. No, he's cautious. Like, my dad's very, call it frugal. Just like was born in 1950, right? So he's an older dude, but he never has talked about going to a big game. Even when we were kids and it was the Steelers Cowboys, I think like Super Bowl 30, my uncle got him tickets and he was like, I'm not going. It's too expensive. I was like, you have tickets. But he sold the tickets. He just didn't want to go to, I think it was in like Arizona. So he didn't want to like travel out there, anything like that. But this game, he was like he's floated a couple times of like, your sister lives in Atlanta. Could probably have a place to stay. But like that's it. He won't say anything about like actually buying tickets or like get too carried away. So I'm like in an interesting spot. Call it a win-win because if Notre Dame wins, I have the ticket and that's good. But I would love to see Penn State win for him because they haven't won since fucking the year I was born, 1986. That's the last time they won. So I'd be fired up for Penn State to win. But my dad, I think I think he would. I think if it was anybody other than Notre Dame, like if it was Georgia, he'd be less optimistic. But like Steak said, just where Notre Dame and Penn State sort of line up in this, they're relatively similar. Of neither has gotten over that hurdle in the last 20 years of being really elite. Like they've both been very good. They've both been in the conversation, but they haven't been there. Mm-hmm. So I think from that perspective, he'd be fired up. And I mean, if you're a Penn State fan, granted, you were lucky to be in that game, but it came down to the last play against Ohio State. So why couldn't you win it?
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll say this in Steak in that Spaces last night. I'm curious to hear what you think. And Greg didn't say this. Drew said this. I kind of agree with the opposite side, but one of the Penn State guys brought up that people or teams after they play Georgia don't fare very well in the next game. And he kind of thought Notre Dame beating Georgia was kind of like, I'm not going to say was their Super Bowl again, but like that was their team they really wanted to beat. And now it's going to be a bit of a letdown. There is obviously the shorter week for Notre Dame. Penn State had an extra day or two off, which is not to any advantage of Notre Dame's because you just had a physical game against a team like Georgia. But on the opposite side, our buddy Drew said he thinks that after Notre Dame beats a team like Georgia, confidence-wise and with a good coach, they feel like they can beat anybody. I got to tell you, and I'm not an overly optimistic Notre Dame fan because I've been through the ringer of never beating the Clemsons, Ohio States, Alabamas. I think I agree with that. Getting the monkey off their back, and maybe now they feel like they can beat anybody. Greg, you're making all kinds of faces like somebody's fucking hammering your big toe. Why don't we see what you have to say first, and then we'll go to Steak.
You reminded me of watching the end of that Notre Dame-Georgia game, or not even the end, the celebration afterwards. Notre Dame acted like that was it. Like they acted like they had just won the national title. Everybody they didn't believe in us. Look where we are now. And remember the last time they won a really big game, they beat A&M on the road and then complete dud at Northern Illinois. Now, maybe that was like in their brain and they haven't forgot that and they'll do better. But I did not like, as a Notre Dame investor, I did not like the way they were celebrating that win. Nobody, right? Fucking think of the Kobe clip, right? Job's not finished. Nobody said that. Nobody said we still got 2 more games to go. Everybody was acting like this was it, and we just won the national title, which is scary.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point. Steak?
Yeah, I get what Greg's saying. Also, though, I with this playoff and that I think it's called like a chip along and would never, Notre Dame could never beat Georgia. It's just because they play that shitty soft schedule that they're always 12-1 every year and it's a cakewalk. I feel like there's something to celebrate for sure. If you not only handle business against Indiana, who you're very obviously much better than, but then you play Kirby Smart in the next game and beat them, and Marcus Freeman put on a coaching masterclass, I see why they were so excited. But I also see Greg's point. Like the job isn't finished and you could lay a stinker against Penn State. I'm really not expecting any team to lay a stinker here at all. I'm expecting a very good game.
Your internet is very bad. Your audio is fine, but you're frozen again. I think
just like jerking. Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
I thought it was me. But no. I mean, you can make a strong case against Penn State too, right? Because anytime they get to this point is when Franklin chokes. I mean, sure, there are people that thought he might choke against SMU and against Boise, but those are a significant class below where this is. And this game is typically where the James Franklin ghosts come out.
Yeah, I certainly, I mean, it's not a groundbreaking thing to say that I think Notre Dame has the coaching advantage. And
I think they do. I would agree with that. I think they have the coaching. Would you say they have a quarterback advantage, or would you say that's
no,
pretty? Yeah.
no, I am a Drew Aller guy. I don't know if you remember this. I reminded people yesterday or last night in the space, but when I was making my long shot Heisman pick, not this past year with Milrow because that was single bullet, but the year with Jaden Daniels, I looked at Drew Aller and he was 28-1, and I was like, man, that's a lot of respect for this fucking dude making his first start at a school like Penn State. And I watched his 2.5-minute highlight tape because he hadn't started really many games. And there were a lot of things I liked about him, but I also just like didn't see a guy, in like college football, you have to see a dude kind of come on. And even in just like 4 or 5 plays, you're like, you need to see playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see any true like playmaker out of him. I thought he was just a little slow on his timing, a little slow just in general, but he had like all the tangibles to be a really good quarterback. This year, I still, when I watch Penn State, I'm not overly impressed or blown away, but I see a lot of potential. Like, I think this guy's got a pretty high ceiling and he can get there, but I think he's going to take a really long time to get there. But I'll tell you this, there were some throws that he's made in the past few games, especially like I was just telling Steak against Oregon. Greg, I don't know if you watched that game. I didn't watch it because I was at a fucking Friendsgiving bullshit. And I went back. I had Penn State, and I'm like, damn, they're fucking fighting. I'm watching on my phone. Oh, Max had the fucking Pistons Knicks game on. That was that night. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, don't even get me started.
I do remember that.
I watched it, and I'm like, this motherfucker made some throws. He made some plays. I saw the clips on Twitter and shit like that. I don't feel like that with Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard is just a pure game manager, good kid. I'm fine with him being the quarterback. He's not an elite guy. I think Aller is the better quarterback, but still, like, I don't really see any like dangerous weapons or receivers that Penn State has that scare me. Like when you watch Ohio State, except 44, Tyler Warren, that guy who's like Dallas Clark.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome. But I think Al Golden, Notre Dame's defensive coordinator, I think that they can fucking eliminate him from the game plan. I think it's going to be really hard, or at least make it more difficult.
Make him not have whatever 12 catches for 120 yards.
Exactly. But then the run game, Singleton and remember when we watched the Penn State USC game at T Squared? I don't know if you were there for the game or if you got there after. That was my first college football player prop. I bet Nick Singleton because I was like, Penn State's going to go in there and bully USC, and I think Nick Singleton's a great running back. He didn't do fucking anything. He had like 58 fucking yards, which is nothing. I needed like 76.5. But as of late, they've been coming on. They've been looking really good. But again, it's the defenses they're playing against where I think Notre Dame's going to be a lot more difficult for them in this type of area. So Viz Shadow said his legs are better than his arm. Is that Riley Leonard or Drew Aller? Riley Leonard is the worst QB of the 4. You know what? I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah, he's not that great of a passer. Could Penn State be riding a little high after shutting down Ginty? Damn, I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that's what Penn State can do. I feel like they're the ultimate litmus test of, are you a really good team or are you a fine team? And as they go, as soon as they approach that team that's really good, it always sort of falls flat, but they'll beat everybody else, right?
Yeah. And also, like Riley Leonard's legs are better than his arm, but I will say this. I mean, he doesn't really have that many good weapons to even throw to. Faison's a nice player. Don't get me wrong. And Javon's POD is this wide receiver, Greathouse, who's not bad. But I like I like the tight end in this game. I like Jadarian Price, who's Prime's guy. If their running back Jeremiah Love is healthy, I hope he has a good game, but he certainly doesn't look the same since that 98-yard touchdown run. I don't know, John and YouTube. I really don't. DJ, and I have Indy money line minus 132. Mad as fuck line move to win 5 units. Well, Toledo, didn't you have them against fucking Georgia? Ride that train, baby. Ride that train. Penn State has kept up with Ohio State for a while, which surprised me. Yeah, that's true. We had, Greg, I don't know if you remember in the newsletter, we had Ohio State -3 in that game, and I did watch that. And I was very impressed with Penn State's effort. And I thought Ohio State didn't deserve to cover. Maybe they deserved to win.
Did Penn State have a pick 6 or something?
Yeah, like the first play of the game, I think.
That's right.
I did 10-unit winner. Yep. Check my recent message referring to Steak's comment on strength of schedule. I missed it. Oh no, I think I saw it, Dawes. I don't really know I don't really know that it's going to resonate with me, but yeah, Penn State strength of schedule is 41st. Notre Dame was 61st. Yeah, that's fair. Ohio State could have easily won by more. Way wrong. That's sounds like something a guy named the Bucknut would say.
And the only other thing I'll say on this is, and the Bucknut's going to get mad at this, and so are all the Big Ten guys, but I just feel like the Big Ten, it's getting inflated. It's getting, they're trying to, the SEC's nothing now, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, just we'll see how everything shakes out. But I feel like the Big Ten ego is at an all-time high. And I could easily see both Big Ten teams losing.
Wow.
See, shut the fuck up. Boo, shut up. Yeah, I know there's a lot of Big Ten guys. I just think the amount of hype around the Big Ten right now is the highest it's ever been. Right? You got Michigan that won it last year, and now we're the conference. And it's like, just fucking wait a little bit. Look, I'm just saying, if you look at the actual data of what's happened for the last 20 years, the Big Ten wins one a decade. So let's just pump the brakes before we get all carried away. You're not the new SEC. You got Bama, you got Auburn, you got Florida, you got LSU. I mean, these are all teams that have won it in the last 15, 20 years. The Big Ten has Michigan and Ohio State, and that's it, right? So there's nobody else, and each of those have won over the last 2 decades. So let's just relax and see what happens.
Greg, I actually really like your take, and this is the kind of stuff that you bring to the table that I appreciate. The Big Ten might be inflated. I am loving how pissed off.
I can't even read it. Yeah, I'm trying to talk, but also not read it because I can just see so many people. And I don't blame them, right?
But real quick, I just
fumbled in the end zone.
I do remember that, yes, but the totality of the game, Ohio State, I had the ticket. I did feel like they should have won and covered, which they did. But also at the end of the day, did they really deserve it? They could have done a lot more. They stalled out too many times, in my opinion, and shot themselves in the foot. Greg, I think you bring up a pretty good point. Steak, what is going on over there?
I think I might have an internet outage, so I'm going to do it on my phone because I feel like that's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You look and sound fine too.
Okay.
So
hat
Greg
looks really big. Like the angle of the hat looks.
It actually really does. I know. I'm
it looks like you're wearing one of the big hats.
Like
it does.
Asian ladies walking around blocking the sun from their forehead.
Yeah.
All right. So Greg was saying he thinks the Big Ten's kind of inflated right now, and he could see both Big Ten teams losing. I don't think Ohio State is losing. I think Ohio State is winning the national championship. But for what it's worth,
the odds on Ohio State are insane. They've skyrocketed.
We'll talk about that game in a second because I do have something I want to bring to your attention. Last thing, real quick, just from a player prop perspective, Steak, can we bet college props in Florida?
I think no.
Fuck.
I mean, I have an offshore, but only offshore.
We're gonna have to figure it out because I like Javon's take, the guy that we had on yesterday, who was a Penn State fan, the ESPN radio guy, Joe something. I got to figure out his fucking name. He liked Riley Leonard longest completion, and I like Mitchell Evans. I really do think it's going to be a passing game. Javon said he thinks Notre Dame's going to be aggressive on first down and pass more on first down. So I'm with that. And I think that leads to scoring, which Steak likes the over. So we're going to have to figure out a way to play some props, in my opinion. But exact score POD, if I got to give it to you right now, just being truthful, 34-24 Notre Dame. And I know I can already hear the laughs. I hear the laughs and the roars from the Midwest people in this chat. Notre Dame's
in 24-10.
Who has 24?
I do. Notre Dame.
Wow. You think Notre Dame's damn? I don't think Notre Dame's defense is going to hold Penn State to 10 points. I don't
either. But it was.
I really like the over,
game.
Greg. I really like the over.
Yeah, I might bet the over. I put $10 on that to win like 1,300. So I'm not holding my breath.
Can you cash out?
Probably not. I feel like when you put those stupid ones in, FanDuel's like, haha, idiot. Like, we're not giving that back.
Steak, you got to take someone to score 26 since it's the most common number in football.
Yeah, it's true.
I actually tried 24-13 and it wasn't offered.
Can you not sit at a desk?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? I'm sitting at a desk.
What
do you want me to do? I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can.
It's like you're sitting on a toilet holding the phone. You're fumbling it around.
This is the best we got. It's either this or no Steak.
No, you're doing it. Okay. All right. Any other final words on Penn State, Notre Dame?
No.
I think okay.
Really like the over.
Might have convinced me to take the over.
DJ and quit bitching. We need a content idea for when we go down there. If anybody has a content idea, let us know. Greg, do
Tattoos. You should both get a tattoo. Steak will do it.
Yeah,
you
of
want to do
course.
a Irish shamrock?
I'm running out of room. Where do you want me to put it?
Eyelids?
That sounds awful.
DJen, I was gonna bring this up. When are you shaving your head?
January 20th.
I was gonna say you should shave your head and get a clover right there.
Oh my God, absolutely not in a million years.
Not there, because then you could have a bald spot, but like right kind of I don't know where you do it actually.
Okay.
Anyways, danger.
Ohio State and Texas. This line is interesting to me. I thought that it should have been 9.5. It opened 6.5. It's down to 5.5. The total 54 down to 53. I actually punched in the under after I watched the some tape on Penn State and Oregon because then I realized, damn, Oregon's defense kind of sucks, and I think that Texas defense has to be a little bit better than that. So, and on the flip side, I'm really not the biggest Quinn Ewers guy. So I'm going to say this is a 24-21 game, and I've talked myself off of taking Ohio State spread. I kind of think Texas mucks it up. I will tell you guys this, though, then we're going to go around the room and hear everybody's thoughts. Steak, I agree with your take. The winner of the Oregon-Ohio State game is probably going to win the national championship. I got to tell you, I have heard a lot of people in my DMs, just commenting on Twitter, tagging me in tweets, or texting me in real life, thinking about a Ohio State money line parlay with another leg, whether it's the Ravens money line, Greg. Some have said Notre Dame money line. Some have said the Bills money line. But the common denominator, I just want to share this with everybody, from the most popular parlay of the weekend is Ohio State money line. Steak, we'll start with you since we don't know when your internet is going to give out at any point. How you feeling about the Buckeyes?
So I want to rant a little bit about the fans.
Ohio State fans?
I've never quite seen a transformation like this from the Tennessee game to the Oregon game, or I should say the Michigan game to the Tennessee game, because he's Bucknut, and he's one of them.
I love
Did
it.
you see Bucknut in this chat ever before the Tennessee game? Was Bucknut ever here?
He literally came in like the week before. By the way, Bucknut's been great. He's been hilarious.
He's awesome, and Ohio State fans are awesome because they fucking love Ohio State. I'm not a hater at all. It's one of the best college football schools in the history of college football. I just want to touch on how crazy the switch up was from Michigan to Tennessee, because I feel like the Tennessee game, when I said Ohio State was going to smoke Tennessee, I was convincing some Ohio State fans. And then obviously the following week, I'm on Oregon. Oregon was my horse. I had to go down with the ship. It was ugly. But the transformation from how Ohio State fans are feeling now, it's crazy, man. Ohio State fans are cocky. I don't even know that Ohio State thinks Texas has a chance, Notre Dame has a chance, Penn State has a chance. I feel like Ohio State's already celebrating the national championship win, and that very well may happen. Honestly, like I said, I said winner of Ohio State, Oregon was winning it. I still feel that way, but God, everything tells me Texas makes this game competitive, and they do it by playing much better defense than they did against Arizona State or even Clemson. So I like Texas to cover. I don't really see a path to them winning, but I wouldn't be shocked if Texas won.
Real quick before Greg talks, I have to say though, they were at the confidence level was at an all-time high after Tennessee going into Oregon, and all Ohio State did was deliver. So,
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm starting to just think that like anybody who's coming around and just saying, yeah, Ohio State's the best team, they're going to win it all. I'm kind of, the way that ass kicking went down, I'm kind of just accepting that. And I'm not even trying to be contrarian or anything like that. So it sounds like you are fine with it, but you think this game's going to be a lot closer. And I'll say this, I'm starting to think that as well. It's kind of like nobody is giving Texas a chance in this spot. And you got to like that if you're a Texas fan.
Also, can I just ask one question? Let's say mid-season, right? I told Greg, you guys, I said, Ohio State's going to play Texas in the Final Four on a neutral. Sorry for calling it the Final Four. It's a little weird, but you get it.
Yeah.
On a neutral, would you be surprised if the spread was fucking 7? Yes, is the answer. Texas was ranked like number 1 in the country. I think the answer is absolutely yes. The spread is
yes.
Ton of respect for Ohio State.
Yeah. Greg, you got any thoughts on Texas, Ohio State?
I have a unit on Texas plus 5.5. I have a unit on the under.
Okay.
I like the under.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that was I hope you guys like the under. We'll put it in the newsletter. Oh, did you format the newsletter yet?
No, I can do that tonight.
All right, we'll
Oh
figure
shit,
it
we
out.
got to do the whole thing tonight. I can do that today.
Yeah, that's fine though. It's gonna be a little bit tight. Subscribe on the website if you haven't already. Okay, Texas under kind of sounds like we all agree on that. And then Greg, you're on. You like Notre Dame to win this game?
I do like Notre Dame to win it. I like Notre Dame to win it. I'm not cashing out of the future, and I'm
don't.
I'm thinking about betting on Notre Dame as well.
Okay,
even with the future.
Okay, Steak, Notre Dame and the over.
Yeah, I don't love Notre Dame. It's not that I don't like them. I don't really see myself betting them. I really want them to win for you. And I like the over, but I don't know that I see myself betting Notre Dame. I really think this game is like a 50-50 toss-up. I cannot figure it out.
No, I agree. I think it's very 50-50. I can see a path for both sides winning. And but you have to make me a promise.
Not betting Penn State. I'm not betting Penn State. I'm not.
You promise?
I absolutely promise. I'm not betting Penn State.
Greg, I see you laughing.
He's got 30 hours to change.
He's I'm just saying if we're at the fucking in the parking lot in the tailgate and all the Irish fans are celebrating like they already won, if he runs off to the porta potty and puts fucking Penn State in for 5 units on his offshore, I'm gonna sniff it out.
You are going to sniff it out. You're going to run to the porta potty and sniff something else out.
DJ, are you going to pop your shirt off at the tailgate?
I'm not saying I will or won't do anything. Let's put it that way.
If you pop your top off at the tailgate, I'll bet Notre Dame.
Can I just say one thing and let me just see if you're on my same wavelength as mid to late 30-year-old gentlemen here? In my head, I am already hoping that Notre Dame whoops that ass so it's less stress, and obviously you just want your team to win.
Hot take.
But I really want the opportunity to beat traffic.
Oh my fucking God, dude. I'm betting Penn State. Can't believe you just said that.
Nobody else thinks like that?
No, not in this type of game.
You don't think
you're already thinking about leaving the game? You haven't even got to Miami. You're thinking about leaving the game.
No, I'm not thinking about leaving the game. I'm thinking about the experience of leaving the game.
The experience of beating traffic.
I'm not excited to leave. I want
national title, no traffic.
I want to be there as long as possible. Soak it in, take it in. But
whatever the worst thing I envisioned you saying there, you surpassed it.
You're not going to tell me, though, you're going to love if Notre Dame's up by 21 with 6 minutes left and we can leave.
I'm going to tell you that it never crossed my mind.
Nobody else thinks like that.
You're insane.
No, I don't.
Your anxiety is off the charts.
That's not anxiety. Let me just tell you something. When we left the fucking Ravens-Bills game, we stayed to the very end. Greg took a 2.5-hour nap in the fucking passenger seat while I sat there in the driver's seat for 2.5 hours before we left that parking lot.
We weren't going anywhere, man. What do you want me to do?
I know.
I tried to stay up. I tried to entice that fight, and then he yelled at me. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to do
fucking hyping up a fight between a Ravens and Baltimore guy. He's like, kick his ass, Seabass. Listen, I'm just saying. If you've been in the driver's seat of getting out of a parking lot when a packed house is leaving, it might have crossed your mind, but I guess not. I just wanted to take the pulse on it.
Park 2 miles away and walk there.
It's not a terrible idea.
I don't know if 2 miles gets you out of traffic, but I would be willing to do that.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
There's plenty of nice areas by the Orange Bowl too. So yeah, 2-3 miles away. Carl will be there when you get back.
Well, you guys say we spend another like 10 to 15 minutes talking about traffic and then we move on to the NFL.
Very funny. I was ready to move on. I just wanted to get your thoughts. Okay.
Terrible.
Chargers in Houston, NFL. We're transitioning to the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Chargers in Houston, Saturday, 4:30. Steak, you initially told us that you thought everybody or the Texans were going to be on a trendy dog. I have to imagine you've taken a 180 now. All I've heard all week is Chargers love. I, from a football brain perspective, love this under. I am also wondering if the under is way too obvious. Is this a game that we see points where nobody expects to see points? I'm starting to kind of come around and make a case for the contrarian side in this, whether it be the Texans or whether it be the over. Your best bet initially was going to be the Chargers. Have you changed your mind? Steak, we'll start with you.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have changed my mind. I'm not going to bet the Chargers, even though I actually do think the Chargers are going to win, and I do like the Chargers. I more like the over. I think this is the nasty over. I tried to find the nasty over from the weekend. Steelers Ravens can't be considered a nasty over just because the Ravens offense is so good, and Bills Broncos couldn't be considered that either, in my opinion, because the Bills offense is so good. These are the two teams where I think you really picture an under, and I think the numbers perfectly right. Like if it was at like 39.5, I'd be spooked off, but 42 is right there for me where I like it to go over this number. And I like Chargers offense, to be honest with you.
I sort of like the Chargers offense as well. I can't believe how aggressive they've been really all season, but Herbert was just 28 of 36, 300 something yards. Quentin Johnson, 13, 14 catches. Granted, the Raiders defense is dead and depleted, but people thought Harbaugh was going to come in from Michigan and just be like run pass. They're really not that at all, even with no fucking weapons, really. I think the Chargers are going to be aggressive, and I kind of think we see a little bit of that from the Texans side as well. I think we could see like a Joe Mixon legacy game after he took the day off against the Titans and Dameon Pierce came through. So I'll probably be looking somewhere on that side of if I'm playing props. Greg, you got any early thoughts on Chargers Texans?
Yeah, mid-major Matt said he wants me to acknowledge something, but I don't know what he wants me to acknowledge. I think we're all in a similar boat here, where at first I said, absolutely, this is the Chargers, but I'm really coming around to the Texans, in all honesty. I'm not necessarily going to bet the Texans yet, but I'm absolutely off the Chargers. That's what I was looking for. I was scrolling on my phone, but there was a tweet basically talking about this round of the playoffs and the road team is the favorite and how poor against the spread that team typically does. So that tells me one of these teams is losing. It's either going to be the Chargers or the Vikings. And I think a lot of people are it's easier to wrap your head around the Rams. I think the Rams are way more popular, and I just don't think the Texans are at all. So that, to me, really likes the home dog plus 2.5, but it's also a tough button to press because the Texans, the Steelers, the Packers, they're all kind of that team that has zero mojo going into the playoffs.
Yeah. That is true. I mean, that's the narrative of the Houston Texans right now, and it's very accurate. They have looked bad these last few weeks of the season, and if you look at their opponents that they've beaten throughout the entirety of the season, they've beaten the Bills. Outside of that, it's really beaten up on the shitty division. So I think the Texans are a tougher button to press than you would imagine for a home team getting points in the playoffs. Looks like we may have lost stake again. Jesus
The
Christ.
Chargers are one of those teams too. They're getting a lot of respect right now, but I don't think anyone would be surprised if they just lay an egg. You know, they had that ugly game against the Bucs not that long ago. They just seem to have these spots where for whatever reason nothing lands and they just fall really flat.
I totally agree with you. That's the thing. Like the Chargers, I've thought they were a bit fugazi all year, and I'm ready to admit they're not, but I do think they have that potential that we saw against the Bucs in the second half of the Ravens, in the second half of a lot of games where they just fall flat and don't do anything.
First half of the Broncos.
Yeah. Second half of the Broncos. Yeah.
No, it was first half.
No, they came out, they beat in Denver they came out. And
the second game. Yep.
Second game. Right.
The one where you had them first half.
Yep. And let's not forget what the Chargers did in Atlanta, dude. They had 10 first downs. They were atrocious. So I'm nervous about that. Steak, as of right now, what's your bet in that game?
I missed most of that. I'm trying to power through, but what game are we talking about?
Chargers, Texans, if you had a bet.
Oh, over 100%. That might be my best bet for the whole first round. Love the over.
Okay.
But I'll be honest with you guys. As we've been sitting around all season waiting for play to happen, I don't think it's Texans. I think we're going to be sitting here watching this game and Texans fucking suck. And I do like the Chargers, I'll be honest.
All right. So even though it's squared, Steak selects the Chargers. Steak, I don't know if you still have a Wi-Fi. We're just going to power through it. You are freezing, but just stay with us. We'll just see what we can do. All right, Greg, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Right. You're a Steelers fan. The Ravens are, let's see, they open 8.5. They've been bet up to 9.5. They're 10 at some places, 10 at Bet Online. Total was 46 down to 43.5. You said you like the under. certainly think there's an argument for it, but I'm starting to wonder if this is also a game where we see points that people might not expect. But I could be way off there because the Ravens offense has been elite and the Steelers offense is still capable, if Pickens is healthy and playing this game, of putting up points. Where's your head at right now, Steelers Ravens?
Before we transition to that, Cam Dynasty had a good comment too, because Houston was absolutely slept on in the first round of the playoffs last year, and they came through. Nobody thought they could handle the Browns, and they did it easily.
Ooh, that's right. That's a really good point.
So to the Steelers game, I want to bet the Steelers. I probably will, just as to have something in it, because it's just tough to see him win this game with the way the offense has looked for the last month. And there was something I saw on Twitter of like Russ going up to Cam Hayward after the game of like, hey, all we got to do is win the next four. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You got to win one game. Just win one game. It's Russ. I'm to the point of like Russ cringe. And I just don't see how he gets it done in this game. The Ravens, you want a fun look ahead line. You want to talk future.
Mm-hmm.
If next round would be Ravens Bills, what would you guys put that line at? In Buffalo, Ravens Bills.
Bills -2.5.
It's -1.5. That's a lot of respect for the Ravens. I think this team can go on a run and win the Super Bowl. But honestly, I think they have a chance of losing this game to the Steelers too, which is crazy to say, just because divisional and the Steelers match up well against Lamar. I'm all over the place with this. I'm gonna just follow my heart and put a unit on the Steelers +9.5. Not getting cute with the money line, but I mean, we saw a big spread in this game. What, 3 weeks ago, and the Ravens covered with ease. It's just this Pittsburgh offense right now is lost, and Arthur Smith is in that like weird, funky place where it's 3rd and 3, and we run Cordell Patterson up the middle for 2 yards, and you're just like, what the fuck are we even trying to do here? Like, what are you even thinking? And Pickens looked out of it last week. Maybe he's just coming back from the hamstring injury and still trying to get the rust off, but that was a rough game for him too. He might just be sick of Russ's shit. If you look at 2 guys, wide receiver and quarterback, I don't think you can find 2 more different people on the planet or in the NFL, we'll say, than George Pickens and Russell Wilson.
No,
they're just complete and polar opposites. And I could see, like, I'm sick of Russ's shit. So I'd imagine George Pickens is like, get this corny fucking nerd out of here.
Yeah. Per sources close to the situation, Justin Fields is a Steelers starter. Hammer that money line. Hilarious. There's no way that's true, but wouldn't hate it. Last thing real quick before we get to Steak's thoughts. Pumpkin Lamar in the playoffs. This game is disgusting. Definitely a pass for me. Yeah, that's true. Let's be honest. Lamar's got to prove it. I thought it was a miserable experience watching the Ravens last year against the Chiefs. And at the same time, though, I respect the fuck out of Lamar Jackson. So I am, I guess, one of those people that would be too scared to not just lean into that and think that, oh, well, he's definitely due to turn that around. Steak, where you at with Steelers, Ravens? I don't know where you stand at all in this game, so I'm curious to hear.
Just given how awful the Steelers playoff games have been for the last 10 years or whatever you want to call it. First of all, is it crazy to think they would use a little Justin Fields in this game?
No.
And then I think they should. And also, I don't think I can lean the under because you can't play conservative in this game if you're Pittsburgh. You're not going to win this game playing conservative. The only way you win this game is if you make some shit happen, take some risks, some trick plays. Like, that's the only way you're beating this Ravens team. And I have very little faith left in Mike Tomlin. I'll be honest. That's why I can't bet the Steelers because I'm losing faith in him as a coach. It's just kind of getting pathetic to watch these end of the season meltdowns all the time. And I know all the excuses, no franchise quarterback. I totally get it. It's hard to win without a quarterback. I just think this is like, it's like part of my take tweeted, Pittsburgh has the same season every year. They really, really do.
They absolutely
They have the same season every year. And if they don't come out with some fucking trick plays for Justin Fields and an aggressive offensive game plan, I would just think it was so fucking pathetic by Mike Tomlin. So for that reason, I really can't co-sign the under. And I'm terrified to bet Pittsburgh, even though I think it might actually be the right play.
You want to Steak, you mentioned it, and I have a tweet saved on it. So the Steelers' last 4 playoff games, Buffalo jumped out to a 21-0 lead. The game before that, Kansas City was up 35-7. The game before that, Cleveland was up 28-0 when they fucking snapped the ball over Ben's head on the first play of the game. And the game before that, Jacksonville was up 21-0. So fucking flat. Like come out completely flat. And I think it's because they're so conservative. I shouldn't say I think. It's because they're so fucking conservative on offense.
And some of those games were with Ben.
Ravens first half.
Ravens first half, Steelers game. I'm kidding. No, absolutely not.
I can't go to war with Russell Wilson and the AFC North and in a meaningful game. I just can't. If they go with Justin Fields, that would be fun. I certainly think they should change it up, spice it up. But yeah, Pittsburgh's defense, their roster stinks. I remember Mid-Major said it, like when I was looking at the Steelers, I was trying to think about if I was going to bet on them or not. I looked at that defensive depth chart and I'm like, they're just not really doing anything for me. And I'm a Joey Porter Jr. guy, but they're gassed. And I don't know. I don't like the under here. It's been bet down 3 points, 2.5 points. That's too much for me. Oh, weather and Zay Flowers is out. That it could have something to do with it too. Okay, let's go to Sunday. We got 4 more games left. We'll power through 17 minutes. I think we'll be fine. Denver and Buffalo, 1:00. Looks like the Bills are sitting right now at 9 or 8.5, depending on where you look. Total 47.5 down to 46. I'm going to go ahead and just pass entirely on this game. I will say that I respect the shit out of Sean Payton and Bo Nix and what they've done, how they've looked throughout the majority of the season. I thought they were flukes multiple times. Turns out they are not. Shout out to our guy, Cam His Money. He's been all over Bo Nix, although in the same breath, he was all over Anthony Richardson, and that sucked. What's up, Greg?
Bo Nix, lead rookies in interceptions.
Did you hit?
Plus 350.
Great job. W. And then on the flip side.
That's hilarious.
I know. On the flip side, especially because he played so well, I respect the Bills too much. I think it's the Bills' year. I think Josh Allen should be the MVP, and I don't want to get in the way of him. I don't want to fade Bo Nix and Sean Payton, and I certainly don't really want to burn a unit against Buffalo. Don't even think what I like in the total. So I'm going to stop talking right now. Greg, we'll start with you for this one. What do you think, Bills, Broncos?
Yeah, I wanted Bills to be my best bet, but the more I'm seeing it, the more I'm seeing a lot of Bills love and a lot of no belief in this Broncos team, which it does check a lot of boxes if you're a pro bettor, right? You got rookie quarterback on the road. You got
this is good. Sorry, Mo Picks. Bo Nix, Mo Picks.
I got it.
Okay. You should be singing that.
Yeah, man, this is it's tough for me to get there with the Broncos or with the Bills, excuse me. It just seems way too easy. And the Bills just, I don't see them getting over the hurdle and winning the Super Bowl this year. Maybe they do come out and win this game. I'll probably find a way to get to the total and it would be the over on this, but picking a side just seems pretty tough for me on this one.
I'm with you. Steak, you got anything?
So let me ask you guys a question. I actually don't fully know the answer. When was the last time the Buffalo Bills played a game that you would say was meaningful?
Well,
Kansas City.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Okay, when was that?
So that was December 15th. They played the Patriots, the Jets, the Patriots. Before that, it was at Detroit, at LA, Niners, Chiefs.
So they beat Detroit. The division was locked up, and basically the fact that they weren't going to get the 1 seed was locked up too because Kansas City doesn't lose. So they've been locked into their spot for like almost a month. I'm very honest with you guys. I'm a little scared. Buffalo rust.
Okay, I don't know if we can keep doing Steak, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
Steak, your internet is so bad; it's just too choppy. You sound like a robot. Do you want to try to restart one more time?
Right now?
Are you on 5G? Are you on 5G or are you on your internet?
I don't have internet.
Oh, your internet is out. Maybe move to a different spot in the house.
Yeah.
Move to a different spot in the house unless you can.
Get on the roof.
Yeah.
Come back, I will.
Boost Mobile's pretty funny.
Someone said Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, he froze. He froze. All right, he's scared of Bills rust.
Bills rust. Yeah.
I could see a little Broncos first half action.
I don't hate it. I mean, Sean Payton's proven to be he's still a pretty damn good coach.
So yeah, they're 12-5 ATS in the last few games. I mean, they did come out a little slow in Cincinnati, but they punched the Chiefs in the mouth. They punched the Chargers in the mouth. They came out slow against the Colts. Yeah, I don't know. I'm off. We can keep moving.
One thing that I would almost guarantee, or not guarantee, that's a stupid thing to say.
That's
but
a
I would
stupid thing to say.
I would like to see what and this is not a hot take by any means, but the NFL wants this. But a Ravens Bills money line is minus 220. You just know with all the MVP talk between Lamar and Josh Allen, you're getting that game in the next round.
Yeah, because could you imagine getting the Steelers Broncos?
Oh my God. They'd be so upset. Or even Steelers, or you know what I mean? Even either one upset or the other. You just know this is going to be fucking the biggest conversation on every talking head show of Josh Allen versus Lamar MVP.
Yep. JP Del Frio says agreed, Greg. Yep. Josh Allen MVP. Yep.
But yeah, it's minus 220 for both to win. So it's not a hot take by any means.
Right. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. All right, Greg, let's talk Packers and Eagles. I made a video about this, and it got some buzz. It got some interaction, a lot of comments on Twitter. I mean, TikTok as well too. And by the way, I think that for whatever reason, Twitter is a lot harder to get any engagement from. TikTok, people are a lot more willing to comment, which I find pretty fascinating. And it's a great place for sports content. And I'm not even really a TikTok guy, but the whole reason I like to do this is I like to put thoughts out there and see how other people interpret them, what they have to say back, whether they agree, disagree, and why they disagree. So I'm going to start putting out these videos more on TikTok because I love to see what some of the comments are. And I got to tell you, the first few ones were, if you missed the video, did you see where I was? Okay. So I was basically talking about how I thought, wow, 3.5 is really low. The line already moved up 2 points. Nobody really seems like they want to bet on the Packers. Whereas Steak initially was like, I think the Packers are going to be trendy, which I understood for a second. But given how they ended the year, like you said, similar to the Texans, but not as much because they were better for the majority of the end of the second half of the season. But that was a really bad loss in performance against the Vikings. I know they made it a game late, but come on. Then you lose to the Bears, but Jordan Love is out for most of it. Whatever. It's not that pathetic. But then the memes start coming. It's like, oh, wow. You know what? Green Bay is a blocked field goal away from being 0-6 in the division. Who has this team really beat that's worth a shit? Is anybody really taking them seriously? The Eagles, in my opinion, were the easiest bet on the board at minus 3.5. It made all the sense in the world for me for a pro bettor to see that number being off. You probably make it 4.5, 5, whatever. Okay. I'm not going to get too much into that. Somebody on my TikTok comment, the first one said, if Jordan Love is playing, I'm sorry. If Jalen Hurts is playing, because I heard he's still in the concussion protocol, said, I'm going to liquidate my 401k and put everything I own on the Eagles money line. I am not saying as a contrarian that I'm going to go fade the Eagles and take the Packers because of that. But what I am simply saying is that comment basically made a lot of sense. Steak, welcome back. You look great, by the way.
If this doesn't work, I'm giving up for good today.
That's all right. I will say you've been trying a lot, and I respect and appreciate that. Did you listen to what I've been saying to set this up for the Eagles? Okay. But you remember the video I put out for the Eagles Packers, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But anyways, in closing, a lot of people come out of this game or look at this game and think kind of how what Greg just said. Ravens, Bills. Don't know if they're going to cover, but they're certainly going to win. The spread's a lot shorter, and I still feel like people are treating this as though the Eagles may as well be favored by 10 points because nobody sees the Packers beating the Eagles. Not telling you that's going to dictate my play, but what I am saying is this. I'm starting to think that one of the least popular sides of round one is going to be the Packers with the points. How do they win this game? I don't know, because I really respect the fuck out of the Eagles start to finish. They were my Super Bowl pick last year. I still like them a lot this year. Obviously, they got 2 competent coordinators and added Saquon Barkley, who could not love them. So I'm going to hand this off, and I'm going to go take a piss real quick. Steak, let's start with you since we don't know when your internet's going to give out. What do you think Packers Eagles. And hold on, before you start talking, I just want to give an updated line. The Eagles are 4.5. The total's 45.
Is it confirmed? You can go to the bathroom. I guess Greg
All right.
can answer the question. Is it confirmed, Greg, that Jalen Hurts is playing?
I think so.
And Jordan Love too, right?
Yeah, Love definitely is. And Hurts, I haven't seen anything. I think last week was just sort of precautionary. But there is talk that he had 2 concussions.
So I guess my question to you would be, do you have any concern? Well, first of all, do you also like the Packers?
I do.
Do you have any concern that this feels very similar to where the Packers were last year when no one thought they could beat the Cowboys?
That I'm fucking Googling what the line of that Cowboys.
I know what the line was. 7.
And nobody even gave him a shot against San Francisco the next week, and they almost won.
Yeah, no one gave him a shot at all. But really, for some reason, I feel like even with how bad the Cowboys choke every year, everyone liked the Cowboys in that game. But they were just so hot. They went like 14-3. They were so hot. I feel like CeeDee Lamb and Dak couldn't miss. But I'm only spooked off the play. I do think it's the right side. I understand. But there's 2 things that spooked me off the play. That game last year and the fact that it's the Green Bay Packers. And people fucking love the Green Bay Packers. There was 3 weeks ago before the Vikings game and everyone was saying they were their sleeper Super Bowl pick when they'll never be. Yeah, exactly. Everybody did that. No offense. I'm concerned. I have concerns. That's it. Yeah, he loves it too.
I have not loved it for what it's worth. I just wanted to be there if it came through. Steak, is that the end of your speech?
Yep.
All right, Greg.
No, I mean we're on, or I shouldn't say we're on the same page, DJ. And I'm on the same page as you. 4.5 for the Eagles. That feels really trappy, man. And as much chalk as we've seen this NFL season, there's some chaos of brewing. And I think the Eagles looks to be the freest bet on the board in terms of home team getting points. So I really like the Packers here, man. I love LaFleur as a coach, and I hate Sirianni. Not necessarily as a coach. He's fine as a coach. I just think as a person, he's a scumbag. But yeah, man, I like the Packers a lot here. I'm not sure. I don't know if I really have a take on the total. What is it? Is it 45? 45?
Yeah.
No, it's a low total to me.
Yeah. And then real quick, I do want to bring up Cam His Money pointed this out. I'm glad he reminded me. He wanted me to point out a stat that he shared, and this is actually rather interesting. I just got an update that Dogecoin is down 8%. That sucks. Green Bay, listen to this. 2024 receiving core without Christian Watson on the field, who is out. Without him on the field, 1.3 yards per route run. That's 13th. 2.4% explosive play per route. That's 19th. Okay. Did you follow that so far? That's without him on the field, 13th and 19th. With him on the field, this is fucking crazy. 1.67 yards per route run. First, 3.7 explosive play per route. First. It's a big deal. And then the last thing he sent me on the Packers are the second youngest team to make the playoffs over the last 45 seasons, behind only last season's Green Bay Packers.
The only other thing too is I listened to Chernoff, and there is a noticeable, I shouldn't say noticeable, but there is a clear drop off in quarterbacks when they've sat out multiple weeks from a concussion and when they return. Mm-hmm. I do think Hurts comes back pretty ugly, and that's when the Packers have to strike. So I would, if I take the Packers, which I'm leaning towards as my best bet, it might just be first half. I think they come out hot. I mean, you've seen them in a lot of their games too. Like talk about, both games against the Vikings. I believe at least one against the Lions. They just came out super flat, got their ass kicked, and then kind of struggled to come back and got some garbage time. I think this is a game where they absolutely have to flip out and come out red hot.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I will say this, the Eagles do tend to play with their food a little bit. If we were to take a first half bet, I would like the Packers here. The Eagles, I've watched this team a lot the last 2 years. They come out lethargic and slow. The fans get disgruntled. You can hear them moaning.
It took them till didn't it take them till December or something to score a first quarter touchdown?
Yes. I don't really see that changing, truthfully. And that's kind of a Sirianni thing too. So I kind of like the Packers early, but I could see the Eagles coming back and winning it late. Right now, Steak, if you got to press a button, you would square up with the Eagles?
I think so. Yeah. I think the fact that I just want to remind you that no one loves Sirianni, and people don't love Hurts either. And he's been in concussion protocol for weeks. And so I don't know that I think it's quite as square as you guys think it is, because it's the Packers who were in this exact same position last year and won outright. But I understand what you guys are saying for sure. But I also like what Tailing Dawes said. Like, I think there's a really, really good chance that the Eagles are up by 14 and we're texting each other like, oh, it's so square NFL. Eagles are up 14. It's just that easy, you know, like that's what we've done every week in the NFL this year. And I don't know that I think it changes with the Eagles and Packers personally.
Okay, I'm with it. 2 more games. Let's finish up strong and fast because we're going over it. Steak, are you going to Owner's Box? Or you're going to do what you can with your internet?
I think my internet might be back. If you guys think I'm good, I
Your
haven't got
internet's great.
Yeah, you've
Cool.
been great.
Perfect.
All right, Washington, Green Bay. I won't say too much on this game other than I'm nervous. Green Bay, or I'm sorry, Washington, Tampa Bay. The Bucks are -3. The total's 50. Got to imagine it's probably going to be a bit of a popular over. I don't really know what else to say other than I have confidence, but I'm concerned. I like that the Bucks kind of woke up from sleepwalking against the Saints. Every time they tend to do that, the following game they do start fast after they start slow, if that makes sense. I think I worded that correctly. And Todd Bowles, he can be pretty good at scheming up stuff against a rookie quarterback. Bo Nix made him eat his shit, but he did well against Jane Daniels. Granted, that was week 1, and I think Cliff Kingsbury adjusted very well. If you guys don't remember, that was when Jane Daniels rushed for like 88 yards, and I had over 80 yards, like +4 or 500. But immediately after that, they came out and said, we don't want Jaden running that much, and they did a great job because he started fucking passing the ball 5 to 6, 7 yards. And completing 23 or 25 of them and only rushing for like 20, 30 because he didn't need to use his legs as much. So second time around, I think it's going to present some real challenges to Tampa, but I still like the Bucs offense. Steak, where you at with this game?
I like the Bucks offense too. I think that's the only way the Bucks win is if they put up an insane amount of points. I watched mostly every Tampa Bay game this year, including Saints last week. I'm very concerned about the defense. They got dinked and dunked to death by Spencer Rattler for 3 quarters. It was pretty fucking pathetic. 7 yards at will Spencer Rattler was picking up with nobody receivers and nobody running backs. And I just thought it was so bad when you compare it to an effort like against the Packers, for example, when Spencer Rattler literally couldn't do anything. Tampa Bay's defense is bad. There's just no way around it. And I also think that they're bad against running quarterbacks. And so, yeah, I'm concerned Jaden Daniels can do a ton against this defense. So if the Bucks are winning, I think it's by scoring 30 points plus, because I don't think they're locking down the Commanders by any means. I think I kind of lean the Commanders, if I'm being honest, but after betting the Eagles last year in the wild card, I'm not willing to fade Baker again in the playoffs. I'm just not willing to do it. But if you put a gun to my head, I would lean Commanders and the over.
Greg, quickest thoughts imaginable on Bucks Commanders?
Commanders.
Okay.
It's for everything Steak just said. It's nothing against Baker. It's nothing against this offense. They're just going to have to do really impressive shit because that defense is a huge liability.
Yeah, it's bad. As much as I actually don't shit on Todd Bowles as a head coach, and I think everybody calls for his head after a loss, but I don't think he gets any credit for wins. The defensive scheme has been terrible against the pass. It's really good against the run.
He's got a lot of injuries in his.
Yes.
That hurts.
You got to look at that secondary. There's nobody that good back there other than Antoine Winfield, who has been hurt half the season. But all right, Minnesota and the Rams. Greg, we'll start with you on this one. Hold on one second. The Rams, it's a Monday night game, 8:00. The spread open Minnesota -2. It got down to a pick 'em at Circa, but it's still Vikings -1 everywhere else. Wow. Interesting. Okay. The total 47.5 up to 48. I'm going to give you just quickly. I love the Vikings and I love the under. I'll tell you why. I don't want to steal all the talking points for every game. Greg, where is your head at with Vikings Rams?
I don't have a side, but I'm with you on that under. I also, from a prop perspective, I feel that Cooper Kupp has been getting a lot of shitty treatment. He's not put up numbers the last couple of weeks, but I could see him. This is a game where I think he has a breakout. But I do like the under, so I'll probably play Kupp yards, receptions, and the under. But a side on this is just really tough because it's that age-old question of can the Vikings get over this hill and get a playoff win? And you got student going against master with Kevin O'Connell against McVay, which is not good. So I would lean just the under and some Kupp props.
Okay. Steak, Vikings fan, you've had a great read on your team. Good job. You knew it was the Lions in week 18. Where are you at on the potential bounce back spot, if you will?
I agree with you guys on the under. I unfortunately don't think I'm going to be fair to ask because now I've completely lost confidence. It's just the playoffs and the Vikings, and the effort was so bad. I just couldn't believe after such an amazing season that Sam Darnold looked so bad against a defense that Brock Purdy fucking lit up the week before. The defensive game plan was fucking amazing by Detroit. I mean, so much pressure. I don't think Sam Darnold's seen that much pressure all year. But what scares me is the Rams could put a lot of pressure on him too. And the Rams secondary sucks just like the Lions do. And it kind of reminds me of a similar team, to be honest. Good receivers, veteran quarterback, good running back, shitty secondary, but decent front four, or at least an improved front four. And I almost think a guy like McVay could mimic the same exact the same exact game plan that Detroit did. And so, yeah, I'm not going to be the guy that tells you it's the Vikings. I'm sorry. I'm terrified that we get another stinker from Sam Darnold, and then all the noise, there will be all the noise about should it be JJ McCarthy next year or whatever. But obviously I hope it's the Vikings. If you want my honest opinion, I think it's the Rams.
You do?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I do like the Rams too if I had to pick a side.
Over under.
Under. Love the under.
So, all right,
I'll tell you what. My best bet then if we're all aligned. I'm lost as fuck, so I need something we all support.
What's going to be your best bet?
This under.
Fuck off. It's my best bet.
Oh, is it you? God damn it.
I fucking said early, like 2 days ago, I said I'm leaning right now. It's my under.
You didn't say it just now. You just said you like the under. You didn't say that.
Hold on. Let's just talk it out for a second. The Vikings, in my opinion, are I like a team like this that just got their ass kicked against a divisional opponent. You get humbled a little bit. It's like, wow, fuck. However, I am scared of this matchup against McVay. I do respect Matt Stafford. I do respect these pieces. And in fading the Rams this year, I faded their defense. No Raheem Morris as the coordinator and no Aaron Donald. I got to tell you, I've watched some Rams games. I am so fucking impressed with their defense. These guys are stepping up. They're playing well from top to bottom, in my opinion, on that roster. I did have Jared Verse to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think that's locked up. He has been a game changer on this defensive line. They're young dudes. They get after it. They're fucking nasty. They give you no time. When the Vikings played the Rams earlier in the year, this is insane, in my opinion. The fucking Vikings had 17 first downs. That's very low for a team with Justin Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell at the helm. The Rams had 26 against a Brian Flores defense. They had 386 total yards. That is insane to me. Now, the Rams have cooled off as of late. The last 3 games of the season, not counting the Seahawks, but when Matt Stafford was a quarterback, they scored 12, 19, and 13. I do think at the end of the day, Matthew Stafford is a bit of an older QB. It's a long season. That bye week is a huge advantage for them to rest up. But with that, I got to tell you, I think you still get some rust. They're probably going to right the ship, but I think that this is where it's probably a bit of an advantage, in my opinion, for the Vikings to have played that game, get their ass kicked, come out pissed off, new season. And if you're betting on the Vikings, I think you're betting on Kevin O'Connell. And this is where I'll wrap it up. And this is how it correlates to the under. The game plan has to be ground and pound, short throws. It's got to be make life simple for Darnold. Do not let him sit there in the pocket. The Vikings have a really good offensive line, but don't let him sit there in the pocket for 3 to 4 seconds for the deep plays to develop. Make those by surprise. Crossing route him to death. Hawkinson him to death. Fucking Aaron Jones chewing up 5-6 yards. Keep the Rams offense off the field, and I think you make life easy for Sam Darnold. And I think at the end of the day, you get in, get out with like a 24-20 kind of win. Love the under, and I like the Vikings. Any pushback on that before we wrap it up?
No.
Not the under, but I do think it's the Rams.
Holy cook, DGen. Wow, if you get a nice comment from the Bucknut, I think
was good. That was good. I was impressed.
Yeah, you did great, and I don't want to let my negative fan come in here and say anything pushback wise, because it will just be me being a negative Vikings fan. I think everything you said made perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm really, again, in closing, you're betting on Kevin O'Connell. I like Kevin O'Connell enough. I think he's going to adjust and put a really, really good game plan in for the offense against this Rams team. So, all right, guys. Greg, thank you so much for joining at the buzzer. Steak, powering through like you did. That was excellent adversity because it's the last stream of the week. As we're traveling tomorrow, we're going to the Orange Bowl, so I'm happy to make it happen. Greg, good shit. I've already told people this is the year you come back with a vengeance. We're looking forward to it. Get the newsletter formatted. We'll have it out tomorrow, thedegenerateweekly.com. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And Steak, I'll see you over at Owner's Box, I think.
Gonna do my best. I'll try to join. Hopefully, if the internet holds up, I'll definitely be over there. But you should rate him.
Yeah, I'm going to rate them right now.
Enjoy Miami, boys.
All right. See you, Greg. See you, Steak. All right, guys. Good shit. Shoe counter 835 W's. I'm going to send you over to Owner's Box. Thank you very much for hanging out. YouTube. Thank you for YouTube. I see you guys over there. Appreciate you. If you want to go watch Steak and I talk to our friendly Canadians, WNBC. Oh no, what's going on here? It's not giving me. It's the raid is loading, but I'm not seeing a box to raid. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. This is weird. Uh-oh. This is weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Mods. It's not letting me raid. Oh no. Hold on. I'm going to try to leave and come back in. Hold on. Shit. I don't know why it's doing it. It's the box where you raid, the bar is showing, but the button to push raid is not showing. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, 43 viewers are ready to raid. There we go. Quaker 866, welcome to the board review. Logan Caps, welcome to the board review. Thank you for the follows. All right, guys. Have a great week. Go Irish. I'll see you over in Owner's Box in a little bit. Peace.